I've noticed that over my self-improvement journey, the main cause of me doing the bad habits, like watch some BS on YouTube, eating something that's not really healthy for me, the main reasons for me doing that most of the time is boredom. Me being bored, me not having something clear to do. Like in the morning, from 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., I'm super productive because I do all of the hardest, most difficult tasks of my day between those times, between 4 and 9 a.m. So I wake up at 4 a.m., take a cold shower, then I meditate, then I gratitude journal, then I record these videos, then I go to the gym. I come back from the gym and I shower, and I help my mom, I clean the kitchen to help my mom, and then most of the rest of the day I don't really have much to do except from reading. So when I have a good book to read that I really love, that's really long, yeah, I'm gonna spend the whole day being productive, just reading until my night routine comes and I do my stretching, I brush my teeth and everything, I go to sleep. But very often during the day, there will be times where I won't have much to do. Where I won't necessarily have found a book that I'm really interested in reading right now. And during those times, I'm very susceptible to going and doing the bad habits. So honestly, the last few days after 9 a.m., sometimes it's been longer, but at some point in the day, I've been finding myself watching some mindless entertainment on YouTube. Mindless entertainment. Yes, YouTube videos. Like I've still been very productive in the morning. Like you've seen, I've been every morning. I've been here. It's still dark outside. Right at 5 something, and I'm recording this video, so I'm still very productive in the morning. But after that, after I finish all the hardest, most difficult tasks of my day, I often find myself falling back into the bad habits. And the reason why is simply because I struggle to accept and be okay with boredom. I taught myself the skill of being able to sit in boredom and silence without doing anything and just being accompanied with my own thoughts. But I kind of lost that skill. Like there was a period of time in my life where I was spending like around 5 to 7 hours a day just sitting there and thinking and journaling. But I've lost that skill. And I'm really working from today on. I'm gonna try to work on it again, on that skill again. The skill of just being able to sit when you have nothing to do and just sit in silence for hours and hours and hours and hours. Because I've kind of lost that skill. I've kind of lost that ability. And it's a very powerful one. Because some of the best ideas you ever will have, can come from you just being there bored, having nothing to do. Because sometimes you're able to be so clear minded and think so clearly, and sometimes your thoughts will just deviate to something important, and you'll be able to make a great decision from that. But you need that skill. You need those moments where you have nothing to do, where you're just thinking, to find some interesting things. Like maybe what the topic of your curiosity is currently is. What books should you actually read? Books that I'm interested in reading. Some decision that you can make with your business. Some decision that you can make with your relationships in general, or just your self-improvement journey in general. Some great decisions you can make in those moments where you have nothing to distract you, and you're just sitting there. But you need to first get in those situations because very often we avoid it. Even if you don't necessarily do bad habits or super bad habits, when you're bored and enough to do, you just go and find a random podcast for no reason and watch it instead of just accepting the boredom and being like, yeah, I have nothing to do. Let's sit here and be accompanied with my thoughts and just think and think and think and think. Because that's more productive than just going there in those situations, going and watching a random podcast that you don't really find that valuable, but it's kind of like it's kind of fun to watch. So you need this ability to just sit there. And I want you to do this, and that's something I'm going to do. When you find that you have nothing to do, stop just looking for random things to do, like random things to do, or just don't stop looking to just go on YouTube and watch some random podcast or watch some random video that you don't really find that valuable. When you have nothing to do sometimes, accept that boredom and sit there and think of of course, most of your free time should be spent maybe reading books and everything. But if you have find out that you currently don't have a book that you want to read or something like that, and you just find yourself in a situation where you just have nothing to do, because it will always happen, no matter what, there will always be a situation where you will find yourself just being that, yeah, I currently have nothing to really do. When it does come, when it does happen, sit there with the boredom. Maybe take a pen and a piece of paper and sit there with the boredom, sit there with your thoughts and just think. Just think. Just let your brain do what it does best. Thinking. So don't lose the skill. It's very important. Because as kids we were able to do this. Like it's crazy how kids, little kids, at least from the older generation before people where parents were giving like iPads and phones to their 5 year olds. But in the past, kids were actually better at doing this. Like some kids are better at doing this than adults nowadays. Are better at sitting there and boredom and just like being able to entertain themselves with their own company, with their own thoughts, with maybe sometimes just imagining some random things or just playing with themselves or something like that. Some kids were actually better at doing that than adults and teenagers. I think that's actually crazy. So yeah, don't run away from discomfort. Chase it.